Good evening. Welcome to Health is Wealth. This program is brought to you by the Chicago chapter of the National Black Nurses Association and the organizations that make up the knowledge and information that we do for you, the community. And I'm excited because we have a state representative here. But we're not talking about politics. How about that? I'm sure you've had enough after last night and the last few days, so we're not going there. But state representatives and elected officials, they do wonderful jobs. And so it's not to say that we cannot blow their horn, find out what they're doing. It's always great to know and to offer our help, our assistance, and our suggestions to what they're doing so that they can enjoy an even better 5-year, 10-year, 20-year term, because we don't have term limits yet. So with me tonight is Camille Lilly, Camille Y. Lilly. She's a state representative for the 78th District.
Yes.
And when I see that, I can't imagine 78 districts. It lets us know how large this place is, the state. Oh, wow. How many districts are there?
It's 118.
Oh my, okay. All right, I never think of it in that term. I think there's Chicago is all that there is.
Yeah.
And so Representative Lilly, I'm not here to talk for her. She's going to talk, and she's going to tell us the information. And she has some exciting things going on. And it is just wonderful to have her come here and share it with the Chicago chapter of National Black Nurses, because even after we do this program for you, we will take it further into the community. So welcome.
Thank you, Bernetta.
It is
May
so
I call you
good.
Bernetta?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
It is so good to have you here. And since our time is short, I'm going to ask you, what are you up to? Wait, before I do that, you also at Loretto Hospital. And so when you talk about what you're doing, you have to add that too.
I do.
And yes, most people in the public life, they work, I don't envy you.
Oh.
And nurses work like horses.
I know. I work with them every day.
So I don't envy you. You have 2 big jobs. So I'm going to shut up and use this valuable time for you to share with us, the audience. And if you would like to ask the state representative any questions, you may do so. You know our number, 312-738-1060. You can call and ask the state representative any questions that you have, any suggestions. That's why she's here. That's what they do. If I have an elected official and I don't hear them, I don't see them, they're not looking for me, I don't know if I would even know to vote for them because I don't know who they are. And so I'm done. Your turn. Start anywhere that you like.
Well, thank you, Bernetta. First of all, I would like to start with Loretto Hospital. I'm Vice President of External Affairs and Development at Loretto Hospital. Been there for over 25 years.
Oh, my goodness.
And with that, the emphasis is community health, which is the same emphasis of the National Association of Black Nurses.
Yes.
And
definitely.
Where most hospitals were going away from departments like community health because they were soft departments. They didn't really reflect the bottom line the way many of the hospital business models have turned into. But Loretto Hospital, community hospital, has not gone away from community health. So we have a strong community health department, and we're in the community at least 3 days out of the week, providing education, information, screenings, referrals, and access to health care.
And then with that, I'm going to mention my partner, Ms. Janice Henry, who is on the phones tonight from Chicago chapter of National Black Nurses, and she plays a role with the state representative and helps to bring to fruition all of the things that you guys do.
And I'm glad you mentioned our nurse, Henry. She is the nurse coordinator at Loretto Hospital. She's also part of the executive team for the 78th District, focusing in on health. We started what we title a On the Block program. And many blocks throughout our communities have blocklet parties.
Okay.
And while they're on their blocks, enjoying their community, we bring health information and health education. So we go and we provide screenings, health screenings from blood pressure to cholesterol, to eye screenings, ear screenings, along with education and information. many of our families on our blocks or during the block club party have issues, hypertension, cancer, diabetes, all these what we call health indicators that are going unaddressed. So Janice is our key coordinator. She coordinates our activities when we go on the blocks. This year we went on approximately, and I'm saying approximately, 20 to 30 blocks with health information. And as the state representative of the 78th District, I try not to go anywhere alone.
Okay.
When you bring resources with you, it allows the people you are meeting and introducing to one another an opportunity to get access to services they may otherwise not have access to. So we're on the block with our health information. And in the 78th District, in the greater Austin community, and many of those block club parties were quite fun. They fed us, as well as asked us critical questions about health.
All right. Beautiful.
One of the things, as the legislator, and I'm very proud of this, and I'm thankful that our governor understood the importance of this as well. There's two bills I'd like to bring to your attention, which are health related.
Yes. We're always ready for that.
Thank you. HB 4515 and SB 42 are two pieces of legislation that really allows what I title the reentry population to have access to employment in a healthcare setting. And we, meaning the state of Illinois, had this policy that banned this population from working in a healthcare setting unless they have a waiver. And the fact that they can have a waiver indicates that they're not banned. So I had to say to my colleagues and to policy, this is not accurate legislation. They are not banned. They can work in the healthcare settings if they have a waiver. So the legislation that we just passed and that was signed by our governor, because it increases employment opportunities, and it's a jobs type bill that allows the reentry population to work in the health setting where they can work in the environmental services, nutritional services, the community health departments like ours, so that they can have viable employment and be a part of the solution to our health issues here in the state of Illinois. And SB 42 emphasizes those individuals who have licenses, nursing license or physical therapy license, where they, in 2011, it was unintentional put into legislation which banned them from getting their license after they came home.
Okay.
And so what happened, which was very interesting, persons who have been home from the correctional system for 25, 30 years, and they're working in their healthcare career, they were either physical therapists or nurses, they were not able to re-up their license. Because of this piece of legislation that was put out in 2011. SB 42 corrects that.
What about the home care workers? We have a lot of home health care workers.
Yes, ma'am. As long as you're licensed and you have your license, this piece of legislation allows you to continue your career. After you have paid your dues in reference to whatever mistake you have made. You're home, you're a viable citizen, you're working. These two pieces of legislation allows those individuals access to employment in the healthcare setting. And the governor has signed both of those bills and in agreement with we need to keep and get more people working.
You know, I really appreciate that, because one of the problems that we have as a community is the fact that we are not privy to a lot of things that we should know, like what you're bringing tonight. I don't remember seeing programs like this on TV and representatives and senators coming to the people when there's a new bill that they have worked on to tell us the status. Now, they do that in their districts, yes, but now you're doing it across the city, and even better because the other people may not be privy to this. And I can see someone on the phone say, oh, I didn't know, and pick up the phone and say, girl, guess what? They have this bill that they have passed, and we can work. Yes, and that's the whole purpose why we do this program, us and the rest of the community groups, is to get information out here for the people.
And I really commend the National Association of Black Nurses and CAN TV for allowing the opportunities to kind of really educate and inform the citizens of Illinois, Chicago, the greater metropolitan area, what's really happening.
Yes.
And I appreciate you asking me to come and join you this evening.
We appreciate you coming. Sometimes the people will say that a people will perish without knowledge, with lack of knowledge. And as we enter the election period, and I'm not going to talk about it, other than to say that we have all of this hoopla, all of this excitement, and I would be willing to bet that a lot of people have no idea what is really going on. They don't get to see a state representative on television coming to them in their home and saying, look, this is what's new. This is what I've done. This is what I've passed. You may now go forth and spread the word and take advantage. We don't have that many jobs, and here suddenly the door has opened.
And it is important because particularly in the Austin community where Loretto Hospital resides, it's the largest community area in the city of Chicago. Over 133,000 people live there. And the reentry population is the largest there. So people are coming home and in greater numbers to the Austin community. And you can work if you have a waiver in a healthcare setting. You can work if you have a waiver in the park districts. These are the type of policy that gives people hope.
Yes.
Making sure that we trust and believe that you can be viable citizens. So I'm excited about this piece of legislation. It's the right thing to do. It's the morally right thing to do.
It is. And because you're on the show and you're explaining it, a lot of times we have these prejudices like, oh, she's been to jail. I don't want to take care of me. I don't want him in my mother's home. I don't want her giving her, if she gives her a shot, she might have, well, who knows? I mean, we're free to go there because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And because people like you come and explain to them, no, we are just not willy-nilly saying, open up the jail doors, let them out, and let them go to work and take care of you. Now that right there is inflammatory right there.
It requires education.
Yes, it
it requires information.
Yes.
And that's why I'm here.
And
I think it's important that everyone deserves a second chance. Our great congressman of the 7th District, Congressman Danny K. Davis, introduced maybe 5-10 years ago second chance legislation. And that's what it's about, even in healthcare.
But even he comes out like you do and explains, because if you don't do that, then we give in to our prejudices and the whole thing just doesn't come together because people are operating out of ignorance, not because they don't know better, they just haven't been informed.
Correct.
And so you're doing that. I appreciate that. And what else? Let's see. With Loretto, it's all tied together.
It is. And one of the other things that we're working with one of our board members, and he's also a colleague of mine, Representative LaShawn Ford. We're putting in place a West Side Heroin Task Force, or a Loretto Hospital Heroin Task Force, where we are addressing the drug addiction head on. Bringing all the resources, bringing all the experts, bringing all of the police, courts, health providers, all to the same room so we can figure out how we can address this epidemic. Where, as we know, on the west side of Chicago, particularly in the Austin community, the numbers are just great of the number of addictive individuals.
And the numbers downstate are even greater than that. And if we would take this out from under the table where it is and put it up front and center so that we are all aware, so that we're all being educated that this is a problem. Because if you don't it's not out there, so we think, oh, it's okay. Oh, violence is the big thing. Yeah, all that other stuff. Yeah, occasionally, not because we do that on purpose, but because we don't know any better. And so I've been watching that whole process, and I'm happy to see that the money has come into the state to begin working on this. I've watched it go all the way to Narcan. They have another name for it. That you can get Narcan now over the counter in the drugstore. It's gone from a substance, a drug that you could only get by prescription. And then as the problems grew and grew, then they started having the police carry the Narcan with them to work, taught them how to use it. Then they went into the schools and started educating the young children about how to administer that Narcan, because, for your information, family, if you don't do it right away, when you come upon a person who is OD'd, if you don't overdose, if you don't give it right away, they're gone. You can reverse that if you can get to them fast enough. And that's something for our community to know, because if we're not aware, we can't help you. And so you're here because you put it there for us, and you're there to explain it to us, to the community, and it's a great thing.
Thank you. And it's really a much needed thing. The task force, and I know task force means that someday it will disband itself, but drugs is such a unfortunate part of our abuse. Substance abuse is such an unfortunate part of our society that the task force may be with us a while. But the beauty of the task force is having nurses like yourself, having legislators, having police, the judicial system all involved to address the needs of citizens who found themselves addicted to heroin and other drugs as well. And you're absolutely right. The education for family members about the drug use of their family member is paramount. They have to react immediately. And I'm very proud to be working at Loretto Hospital, and we're working along with the Board of Trustees to really put forth I would say, solutions to the heroin epidemic, particularly on the west side, but also addressing the state in its entirety. So look for our activity and the things that we're doing on behalf of Loretto Hospital and the Heroin Task Force.
I was so happy to see that you're coming forth with that, because it has been bothering me that all of the focus is on the violence. Yes, it needs to be focused, but not to the exclusion of this heroin problem. And then putting the fentanyl in it too is twice as deadly or more. And so I was so excited when Janice told me you were coming. I said, oh my goodness, yes, we want people to know. I try and tell everybody, listen, we do have a heroin problem too. And a few weeks back, I saw a brief glimpse on the TV of, and this wasn't Illinois, it was Ohio, 200 people in one day in the emergency room from overdoses, from heroin. Yeah, we have our thousands, as they call it, in violence, but we also have our thousands in the drug problems. And so your courage is great.
Thank you. And one of the other public health issues that I want to talk about and say who's also joining in is the issues of gun violence.
Yes.
We have put together the Joint Caucus, Black legislators, Joint Caucus have put together a group to address the gun violence in our community, and collectively at the federal level, at the county level, at the state level, at the city level, at the local level of our judicial system. All of us are in the same room working and putting our hands together to address the violence in our community and the gun violence in our community. And I'm very excited to be a part of that coalition as well.
They just got a big fat pile of money.
Who?
I saw it the other day. Coming from the government. You don't have it yet, but it's on its way.
Okay.
I can see.
Very good.
And a nice big pile of money because how can you work without tools?
Exactly. And violence is a public health issue. And you, the nursing associations, really get it. They get it from the educational part as far as community commitment to wellness. And we, meaning the health industry, the legislators, the at all levels, county, federal, state, city, we have to join you in addressing being a part of the solution. And we're excited to be in the same room to address the issues that you hear so much about on our local news and the lives that are lost due to violence.
Well, we're certainly willing and able to stand up, and the people in our community, we have a lot of medical personnel in our communities. Hopefully some are watching tonight and they will pass the word that we are ready to do more action. It's not like we haven't done any. We have been trying. We're still trying. We're not giving up, and we are pleased to have this lady sitting next to me. And if you would give the information that people watching could call, if they have questions about anything that you've said tonight, especially the
Perfect.
Department.
Loretto Hospital, located 645 South Central. Our number is 773-854-5063. If you'd like to get involved, be a part of the task force, join us on our on the block campaign. That'll be great. I'm also the 78th District state legislator. My phone number for the 78th District is 773-473-7300. And there's always opportunities to get involved to serve. Healthcare entities serve all the time. We at the state level, we are honored to serve because the people elect us to do so. And please join me and the team of the 78th District to address the health issues in your community, in your neighborhood, in your home. Thank you for having me, Bernetta.
Can we come over from the south side?
Please do.
I'm a south side
Please
one,
do.
but originally a west side.
Oh, okay. Bridging the communities
Yes.
is something that we have been doing, will continue to do, and need to do more of.
That is great. Now, so just to get started, even if you just tell us what to do, we can take it back to the south side. We don't have to stay over there.
Well, I understand. I get it.
Yes.
But the task force or just working in teams will be how we do it, and then sharing our results. What's the best practices that made things better in our communities. So I think we're at a good start right here.
Okay.
So you can give us a call at 773-854-5063, which is Loretto Hospital Community Health Department, myself, Camille Lilly, and Janice Henry. And if you're interested in working and supporting 78th District, that number is 773-473-7300, 78th District, State of Illinois, Camille Lilly.
All right, we're out of here. Time goes fast when you're having fun and you're putting information out there. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
And we will hopefully have you on again as updates as things get better and better.
I will enjoy coming back.
Yes. All right. Be safe out there and have a great evening. Thank you.